thank you all for joining us today for the groundbreaking for 2700 University. We're going to have a few speakers, and then we'll move over to the dirt to turn it over, and then we'll offer some one-on-one time for interviews and things like that afterwards. To start, I would like to invite the City of St. Paul Mayor Chris Coleman.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is great to be here and to finally break ground on a piece of property that we have had visions for a long time. I remember having conversations. I swear to God, I can't even remember the first conversations I had about the potential for this property. But when we were having those conversations, we were anticipating that we would someday get light rail built down this corridor, that someday we would have, as my papers are all blowing away here. Oh, well, there goes my speech. Thank you very much. I don't need a piece of paper to tell me what I think about this, because this is so exciting. We knew that when as we went forward on the light rail line, as we started thinking about how to connect our two downtowns, how to connect the University of Minnesota, all the hospitals and medical facilities, all the jobs on this corridor, the state capitol complex, we knew that that was just going to be the tip of the iceberg. But what was really going to be important was continuing to grow this corridor, to have the mix of uses that we knew we could have on this corridor between jobs and housing and recreational opportunities, and it just continues the story continues to be, to play out exactly as we had hoped. But this development, I think, is unique. It's special. It's not just the 250 plus units of housing, it's the partnership between the Met Council and the transit-oriented development support that we've had for this, the mix of low-income housing. So it was truly it's truly a mixed-use, mixed-income housing, but really helps us bridge that divide between the two downtowns. And so I'm so excited for this opportunity. When we think about the growth in the city of St. Paul's population, just recently the statistics showed that we were just about or approaching, we were so close that probably a week after those statistics were out, we actually crossed over the 300,000 person threshold in the city of St. Paul. In a few short years, we will have the largest population that we have ever had in the city of St. Paul, if you just project out the current growth patterns. That's over 314,000 people living in the city of St. Paul. It wasn't too long ago that those trends were going in the wrong direction. We were losing population. But because we've made smart investments, because we've invested in transportation, because we've invested in community resources, because we have continued to believe in the future of the city of St. Paul, people respond to that, and they will respond very well to this project. So congratulations to everyone. We're so excited to break ground here today, but more excited about having people living here at 2700 University in the very near future. Thank you so much.
Next, I would like to invite up Ryan Cronk, Vice President of Development for Flaherty and Collins Properties.
Thank you. Last month, I got to attend my first Great River Gathering downtown St. Paul, compliments of Urban Works, and I wanted to say first, it was pretty neat to see how progressive St. Paul is compared to where we're from, Indianapolis. Not knocking my own city, but the things that are in the works, that are in the planning stages, that the forward thinking that's going on here is pretty incredible. And so that was just kind of a tip of the hat to St. Paul. But when I got home, I read about the St. Paul Riverfront Corporation, not knowing much about it, and a couple of things in there were to elevate St. Paul's quality of life, stimulate economic vitality, sustainable design, and the last one was engaging the community. And this project, it's not just another apartment project that's going on in the cities here. This project's got over 6 partners that have stepped up to make this happen in financial capacity. It's got various community partners with the St. Anthony's Neighborhood Association and other partners that have put their hands on this throughout the process. It's a Silver LEED certified project. And I looked up, I think downtown the Penfield, which is in St. Paul as well, is a LEED certified project. But beyond that, there's not too many in the area that have that certification. This project, I got asked the other day by a reporter, what makes this different than everything else that's going on? I could probably tell you that we'll have the best pool or the best amenities or the best this, that, and the other. But two of the things that I think we're proud of is we're going to have, every unit's going to have all LED lighting. And I'm pretty sure there's no other project in St. Paul or Minneapolis that's got that. There's people that brag about having LED, but I don't know of anybody that's got 100% LED lighting in all their units. Additionally, every unit's going to have a smart thermostat. We just started doing that in other projects. It'll allow our residents to change their temperature from away. It's more smart energy. It's forward thinking, and I think that's going to fit right in at St. Paul. How else is it different? This is a mixed income project. This was a goal from day one that St. Paul said, we want this to be mixed income, 20% affordable uses, 80% market rate, and we took that direction and we went with it. And last but not least, this is a TOD project, and what better place to be than right in the light rail to get downtown St. Paul or go to the university as well. So we're excited about the location. You can't really beat it. And last, I want to say one of our own person in our company asked me what the address here was today because he was trying to get to the site who hadn't been here before. We told him it was 2700 University. So, but it's funny that when we got to town, we started working on this project, a lot of people outside of St. Paul, they tend to think the border of St. Paul starts at, 280. And so one of the early ideas we had in the project is let's get some clarification so people know when they're coming into St. Paul. So if you see our rendering, the project's called 27 University, but we're going to have a big old St. Paul sign right in the building. So when people cross our project, they know they're in St. Paul. So thank you.
Next, I would like to invite LISC Executive Director Adriana Aberiotis.
Well, thank you. Thank you all for taking the time to come out. This has been a really exciting project, and it's been a couple of years in the making, and it wouldn't have been possible without the support of many folks who are in the audience here today. My name is Adriana Aberiotis. I am the Twin Cities Executive Director for the Local Initiative Support Corporation, or LISC. And we're thrilled to be part of this project. It's probably a little bit more unusual for us. A lot of folks know us for our community development and straight affordable housing work. This is an opportunity to create mixed income housing with bringing a mission focus to what's mostly a market rate opportunity. And I really, congratulate Flaherty and Collins for all of their hard work, all of the support coming from the city and the Met Council and others. But most importantly, we also tried something different. We worked with a banking partner, BMO Harris Bank, to create a new product that would help bridge some of the support needed to create these affordable units. So I really want to congratulate and thank all of the team members who have been working so hard at LISC, at National Equity Fund, our affiliate that's bringing the low-income housing tax credits, and BMO Harris for some of the mezzanine, the over $6 million worth of mezzanine finance that we're able to do together. These kinds of projects are also oftentimes risks for investors. So I really want to commend NEF and BMO Harris and all of the public financiers who came together to make this project, and congratulate Flaherty and Collins for taking the risk as well. So thank you very much.
Next, I would like to invite up Council Member John Commerce from the Met Council.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm John Commerce, and I have the honor of representing St. Paul on the Met Council. I'm glad to be here on behalf of the Council, which has been involved as a supportive partner at this site since 2008. I have three very brief messages to share on this celebratory day. First, I can hear the bell ringing for the train that's arriving right on cue for my first point about the one-year anniversary of the Green Line. It's been a tremendous and transformational year in St. Paul and in this neighborhood. Last month, 33,000 riders boarded the Green Line from the platform that you see behind me, joining nearly 1 million for the line as a whole in the month of May. And as was reported last week in the media, the Green Line continues to expand opportunities for people to access places of work and education, which is where 80% of Metro Transit's riders are headed. And the strengthened connection is transforming places all along the Green Line. A recent tally identified $3 billion in new construction and redevelopment within a half mile of the corridor over the last number of years. The second point is that although transit operation might be the most visible activity of the Met Council, we're also involved in partnerships across the region to support great development. We've been pleased to partner on this project by awarding a Livable Communities Transit-Oriented Development Grant to assist with site acquisition, preparation, stormwater management, street and boulevard upgrades, and a public plaza that will connect to the Green Line. And since the Livable Communities program was conceived in the mid-90s, the council has awarded $68 million in grants to great St. Paul projects like this one. My last point is that to those of you who have chosen to invest here in a development that will bring 248 new households to this very place, thank you. With your investment and your leadership in conjunction with public partners, this can become a place where residents can reach more jobs than at any other location in the region. Attend school, whether that's primary, secondary, job training, or university, and access one of the world's great rivers and enjoy the nation-leading park systems of the two cities that meet right here. They can also create new businesses in the University Avenue Innovation District and the Creative Enterprise Zone that also overlap here. So with those words, I thank you all for the opportunity to partner in this work, and I look forward to watching this important project take shape in the coming months. Thank you.
Last but certainly not least, I would like to invite City of St. Paul Planning and Economic Development Director Jonathan Sage Martinson.
Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations to Flaherty and Collins for groundbreaking today and getting underway in this great project. As the mayor said, City of St. Paul's been watching this piece of land for quite some time. We took a new sort of look at it in 2007 when the city began planning for the land use along the light rail here. And really this project today exemplifies all that we had hoped for as we did that planning along the Green Line now over 8 years ago. The great design, the mix of market rate units with affordable units built in, the mix of uses with the commercial on the first floor, the access to the light rail, the density, all of that is just exemplifies really what the City of St. Paul was hoping would come as the light rail was developed and we began to see redevelopment up and down the corridor. So this project really exemplifies that. It also helps meet the goal. We've talked a lot about that mix of incomes around the goals that the two cities, LISC and a bunch of other community partners set around making sure that affordable housing was built in along the corridor. That big picture project set out a pretty aggressive goal to make sure affordable housing was built in. And projects like this show how that can be done in a really innovative way by mixing incomes in the project. I want to thank the PED staff who worked on this project. It's innovative. You've heard that a couple times today. That's another way of saying it's a little bit complicated the first time you do it. So Flaherty and Collins stuck in on that innovation, as did the PED staff, particularly Marie Franchette, who was mentioned, Patty Lillidahl, Jenny Wolf, who's here from PED, and our former housing director, Al Carlson, was also part of that mix. So thanks for all of your hard work. I want to thank the other partners. The City of St. Paul and the Housing and Redevelopment Authority was certainly one of the bodies that provided financing for the project, but you've heard from the Met Council, LISC, BM, and O'Harris. Their creativity really helped Flaherty and Collins do this unique model as well, so thanks to them. John Commerce mentioned the $3 billion in development along the Central Corridor. That's 13,000 housing units and about 1,000 affordable. About 1,000 of those are affordable up and down the corridor. Again, this is probably the most unique of all of those projects being built, and really, again, exemplifies of all of those projects really what we had hoped for along the corridor. Finally, I'd just like to welcome Flaherty and Collins to St. Paul. So this is a great project for St. Paul. There's a lot of the city east of here we'd love to show you as well, so maybe after the groundbreaking today. Congratulations and welcome.
All right. 3, 2, 1.